Jiva Garja. I'm just here in my coffee break. So I thought I would record a little video on the devlog. The last one was quite long and technical, so but I just wanted to get one out. So I'm gonna just load up the app now. The app is going to be like released into general testing this week or next. I'll show you actually as we use it what needs to be done, and once that's done then it'll be released out. Closure dash no, closure dash really closure dash D. It's hard to think and type. So while that's loading up, I'll just talk I guess about the app and stuff. So yeah, it's kind of been 5 months since they make their new Madra, and I had a lot of ideas in the beginning, and I wanted to do it in Driot and in Irish and stuff, but practicalities required I switch back to the English, to closure Dart, and there was a lot of like getting used to the language and the tooling, the tech stack. So you know, lots of trial and error to kind of figure out how stuff works. Even all these dynamic warnings, these are not good. I need to fix these. But the whole focus was speed, because it didn't really matter the code quality or the rest of it. Like, it mattered that the features that people wanted were on the app, and like figuring out what that was. And then there's like the ideal version of what you want is like, you know, this pristine audio, this, you know, prompt response, all this kind of stuff. And then there's the reality of what you can provide from day one. One of the big issues with Shunnock was the lack of content, and like all the content was coming through from me, and we were trying to you know, find people to create content and stuff, but just couldn't get that model to work. So this one addresses that in two ways. One is it makes it much easier for people to contribute content, which is long term the best way to address it. But then in the short term, they got to get people to use the app. I want to kind of have generated content. So from the database, there's I have this written down actually on the website. Madra Teanga Dev. Actually, you can see a lot of the app here and stuff, screenshots. I'll go through it now anyways. But down here I put the numbers. So like these are all the public data sources I took in, and like you have 20k word embeddings. I don't know what icon you would use for word embedding, but it still comes to the brain. These are emojis actually. These are like Android emojis, but hand-drawn style. Yeah, I've given up on trying to find an icon library that works, and I think this is quite nice. I need to fix this weird formatting. It's probably fine with a bigger screen. Yeah, and then it's probably fine on the mobile too. Yeah, it's just in between that, it's like weird. Okay, so yeah, taking all of this public data, and then it was all fed into the database, the Postgres database, and running on Superbase and stuff. And you're like, why? Who cares? So we can generate lessons, but there's always a limitation in generating lessons, and I'll go over that in a bit. So we have custom and we have generated lessons, right? Generated lessons, not to be confused with AI generated. It's not AI generated. It's human created data with scripts or database generated data, right? Deterministic versus non-deterministic. From this page, I'll just show you briefly. Like, you can pick the different fonts you want, and 2 more are added. People kept requesting Clo Gaelic, which makes sense. Even the teacher I was going to for my dialect and stuff, he was teaching me in Clo Gaelic, so it made sense to add it in. Not as easy as you might think. You kind of need to break it down, but it's funny because the way I built it, anywhere there's GH, SH, whatever, I'll just put the dot over it, and then it uses the old G. I'm trying to find the S, English. Yeah, it's not using the right S, I don't think. It should be using the O, right? And it works for any language, right? So it works for the English, kinda. There's no H's here. It works here too. Yeah, the S is working for the normal S, but the dotted S is this is weirdly finicky to fix. But I will fix it. And then, so what this is like the languages on the app, and on the app you have everywhere just text. We put in like a little placeholder, and then depending what you pick, English, this one, there's like it loads into different languages. And then on top of that, it will pick the font, right? So what that means is that we can just add in Ogham, and the whole app is in Ogham, which I think is really, really cool. I don't know Ogham. I just put in the type and got it hooked up and stuff. So this is all new to me. Like the question mark comes up here, which is interesting. Sorry for the noise. They're rebuilding the house next door, it seems. Always building stuff here. So yeah, so let me just close the window actually. Little good that did. Let's log in. And so one of the things that's broken here is the routing, the navigation on web. It would, like, if I refresh the page, sometimes it'll break and it won't go back to the back button, and it's a small thing, but it's a really difficult thing to fix because because it's a core system, it's a custom system. So if the route isn't working, it means I need to fix that, right? So let's get a bit more space, maybe. So this is something I put in, and this is dynamically generated. So like basically you have a little library that gives you the time in seconds, and then you just convert from the numbers into the letters. And then there's some like basic rules around lenition and not lenition, but just mutations. I just use mutation for a catch-all for any of those lenition or even the Odru, like anything that changes the shape of the word, because it's just from a coding point of view, it's easier to kind of view it as the word has changed, it's mutated, right? So yeah, there was a bit of work for this around handling mutations and stuff, and I'm not sure it's totally correct. I mean, I used the book and stuff, but I'm by no means an expert in the language. And then I put in this because I wanted people to kind of see. I wanted people to see what I see, because I'm just gonna open this on another page because I want to show you the dashboard for Shunnock, but I want to open it here in case it gives away like anything confidential, which would mean I have to like re-record the video. So I'm going to open it here and I'll drag it in if it's acceptable. Nope, it's not there. Oh. Okay. Let's see. So, funny enough, Shunnock was originally called Antulchaban as a joke about Duolingo, and then I can't remember why I changed it. I was just like, oh, it was because of the Tulch, the T, and then the different services couldn't handle the Irishness of it. So, is there anything here that? No. So I can show you guys this. This is the Firebase database for Shunnock. We're not using this anymore because yeah, we're switching. But like the way it works is that like I don't know who this is. I don't know who any of these people are. Like it says there's 7 people using it. There's 2 using it now, and there's 7 recently. These numbers used to be much higher. This isn't where the person is. The person could be here, or they could be here. It's just the local internet, basically. So, like for me, I'm in Valencia, but it says that I'm in Malaga, down here. So it's like it's not captured by like anything that give you. It's all like anonymous. It's not like anything personal. My Google is set to Irish, so you can see some of them are in Irish, but some of them not so much. And yeah, so you see this, but what's really interesting is this. And this won't be in the new app because we're not using Firebase, we're using Superbase. So you can see, and then you can see in the last day there's 200 people using it. This has been pretty consistent, 200 people a day since. And then there's been 2.5k this month, which is crazy because like Chunuk is very, very bare bones. There's not much in it. It hasn't been added since November. I genuinely thought people would just leave in droves. I guess they have in a sense, but I put out a new release last week that was basically just removing a lot of the chat features and stuff because I couldn't support them, and then telling people about the upcoming release. So yeah, you can see like people use it on average 21 minutes, which is really good. I think Duolingo is like 5 to 10, which, you know, that's where all of the gamification and the animations and all that crap. And then people use it on average this much, and then this is like how much people return, retention and stuff. Again, these are all anonymous, we don't know who they are, just know that this is happening. So this is kind of useful to like, I guess, see how popular the idea was. The success here though, I think, is detached from the quality of the app. I think the success is the demand to learn. I don't think the app ever really kind of got there. Yeah, so this new app now, I'll get there. Yeah, I can go up here and I can do like the last 90 days, or last 3 months. And let's go longer. Let's do, because it's been out for a year, so I can probably do this year. Oh, this calendar year. Is that? Well, it didn't really start till June. I started in May and then it released in June. Let's manually just pick in June. Was it January? June. Just start here, and then we go up to present day, or day before present day, because the app, the stats don't update till the day after. So June 1st up until to yesterday. So you can see how it like. Can we get this bigger? I don't know. You can see how it like started off, and then I did a post at the end of June that was on TikTok, and I got like 50,000 views, and then it like spiked, and then I was like people were coming in and leaving straight away. The retention time was like a minute or two, and then I was like, oh shit. So all summer then it was just like new feature, like trying to get it to work. And then I was writing all the content myself and stuff, and I was really just burning the candle on the both ends. And then I think around the end of August, Dara kind of started posting, Dara on TikTok first. And every time he posted, you'd see a jump, like jump. And then November, it's so funny, it actually hit its peak on like, see where it was going on the 20th on October. And then the shit hit its fan. Like I think like I lost my job that time. Well, I left the job, but I mean, I was in probation for 3 months and it wasn't going well. So I was doing this, and then I was trying to do that, and then with the speed, and I was also finishing up another project, so it was just dark times. And then I don't know what caused this. It's so funny because it spiked, and then I guess these people are like, I don't know why I jumped back up again on November 7th. That's kind of a weird one, no? Strange. I guess it got popular and people didn't like it, and then it's kind of steady here, and then come December, that's when I announced that like I have to kind of like step away, start again. And this is when we switched, end of December is when we switched to making Madra Teanga, and then you can see the drop down. I don't know why this happened. This here I think is from, this might have been like something to do with like Irish in the media or something. It generally kind of pops up and it's go back down again. But we haven't done any features since, I think I did a release around here maybe, just to like clean things up, and then it went up again. But like all the way through here, I was just thinking, should we just keep going with it? But it was built on shaky foundations. It was too difficult. I needed to kind of like we tried open sourcing it in September, and then that wasn't really working bits of it, and then fighting the language constantly, and then the fact that I was creating the content was a real issue. Like there's still a lot of issues and spelling mistakes, not spelling mistakes, but grammar mistakes in Sonic Beta. I really wanted to remove it, but I think a lot of people were using it. I was a few people told me just to leave it up. So yeah, and then we kind of set up the Open Collective. We got set up with them to like this. Up till here, like the donations were coming in too, which was fantastic. And then that was coming to my account, and then I'm paying freelancers or whatever, and then I'm paying taxes and that, and it's long term it's not good. So we set up this. It's not confidential here. I actually don't think there is a way to be. There's something I can show here that you can't see because it's just it's all public. Yeah, you can kind of see the people contributing and stuff, and then the expenses. So far we've paid for Ulster Audio, male, female, and this week we'll be doing on Kaijon, which is basically someone who learned Irish but is fluent. They are a Connacht speaker, but the script is in Kaijon. Last 2 weeks trying to get the invoices working here, which was a real pain. And then yeah, so then building out the app. So that was the idea of this. The idea is kind of like to give you guys a review of what's going on, so you can kind of see what's going on. And maybe you might make this more sophisticated over time. I don't want to put the map in because I think people might get freaked out that we're tracking their location or something. That's not how it's done. It's not using the GPS. It's using the IP, which is your local. Like everywhere has a central internet thing, like in Dublin or Liverpool or here it's Malaga. So it's like these are the central exchanges, and that's where the IP is taken. And then if you're using a VPN, it's wherever that is, right? And you can see your streaks and stuff. This is like copying GitHub, right? This is the GitHub kind of heat map to kind of see what's going on. I quite like this. These are buttons, and I need to fix them. But like, I'm not gonna let this hold up the release. If it's not, I'll just switch out for other buttons if it comes to it. I'll try and like make the design easy on the eye, and like break it up, and also make it different from other apps, you know, are quite clean and polished and stuff. And then grammar drilled, and these are like basically what you might be doing. So, which are Shallockle. Radio is working a bit better now.
Chance Colmar doing it in a tie.
And the UI is much cleaner. Oh, it's cleaner. I wanted to make sure the website was here. And actually someone asked me to put in Radio Lorgan, I need to put that in. I also was thinking of putting in a Scots Gaelic station or something. From a code point of view, this is 4 or 5 lines each. It's not a lot. With Discord and Google Translate. I also wanted to clean this up, but maybe after launch because it's just hanging in the middle. When you put in something, you do get the bottom bit, but like it just hangs out before that. That's just a quirk with the Flutter widgets we use. Change the language or the font anywhere you want. The profile stuff is under. It works, all of it works, but I haven't put much time into it. And you can change your preference here and your language, and you can see all your contributions. I wonder, will we? Yeah, and everybody gets a quota of storage. I'll increase this depending on usage, but it's just to stop somebody uploading it to Netflix and you know, breaking the bank for us. And the way it works too is that if you put something public, it doesn't affect your storage. So keep an eye on this navigation thing because it's going to break. at some point. I need to fix that this weekend. Probably should be fixing it now instead of doing this video. There's no news because there's nobody contributing anything. So if I go in here, this is what you'll see as an admin and a review and stuff. The idea is for learning, right? So this is just two things here. Like this, if we could, this would just be all this one here. Just custom content, size, quality, it's the best, it's the most effort and stuff. But while that's getting set up, you can also do, and these will be controlled for forever. Like these have so much content, all the word, and these are generated from the data. So the categories here, these are from the not terma.ie, but corpus.ie, the corpus.ie, and like they have like a frequency list, and I've used this to break it into this. Every time I come here, I'm reminded there's a typo here, and I'll probably here too. Yeah. And then using the WordNet, which is WordNet is, well, it's actually an AI thing. Like it's an older one, but they broke the language down into abstractions. Well, they tried to. Like it's still very English centric because it was done in Princeton or somewhere. A lot of linguistics is very English centric, but it's still useful. You can kind of like, you know, it breaks the words down by the category. So this wasn't done by hand, I think this was done by me. And why was that slow? I need to figure out why that was slow. So then you can kind of see here, there should be able to scroll twice. Needs a lot of work. They're colored by the type, and then like the frequency is from corpus, how frequent it is in the corpus.ie. This double bar thing needs to be addressed. And then beside it we will have which languages on the app it shows up in. So if a sentence is added and it has this word, whatever the speaker, whoever created it, whatever language they identify, whatever dialect they identify as, will show up here. Man, that's so complicated. What it means is that this word shows up in these dialects, right? And we've distinguished Kaijon from Connacht, Munster and Ulster, and this is just textual because Kaijon is a standard text and people write it that way, but there's differences in how people in Munster, Connacht and Ulster use it, even in text, and that is constantly changing. So that's why it's a database thing, it's a code thing, it's not us making broad statements. And here you can see how many sentences we have in each, and I haven't uploaded the audio yet, so there's none, but you can kind of get a snapshot. And then over here you'll be able to see your progress, tracking progress, and if you need to review them and stuff. That's tracked with a thing called Bayesian knowledge tracking. What it means is basically every time you get a question right that uses this word, it increases that you know it, and any time you get it wrong and need a hint, it decreases. That's all. And there's a whole system in this about like spaced repetition based on how you're. So if you get a word wrong 5 times, it will show up to be reviewed if you come into this one, right? So I added 4 or 5 words there. So anytime you're going through these lists, you have the option to add. This is what it looks like when it needs to review. I need to fix this up because it's not that intuitive, the progression. And also it's like this, it kind of runs out of space. If it has a little one of these symbols, it means that the database is missing data for this. We have like 40 or 50k words, but because of the data we use, a lot of the common words like atá and stuff will be missing stuff. I need to add in some way for people to submit data for these, and then we need to figure out how to actually handle that, like copyright ownership and stuff. Because the way the app so far is that like with the audio, the person owns it, we're not going to do anything with it. But with the text, other people can copy the text and make their own versions of it and stuff. But the copyright is with the original person, so I don't know, I need to figure it out on it, because I probably need to put in an option to like, so people can choose not to copy, to not allow their content to be copied. Because it would be nice if people could create content here, and then if they get like, if they're happier to get a following They can do stuff elsewhere with that following, or vice versa. They might have a following elsewhere, and they can come here and post content without fear of losing copyright or whatever. So they maintain control of the content. But equally, I wanted that if people wanted just to create content and anybody can use it, other people can copy it and put their own dialects on it. I want that to be possible too, and also to be building up a corpus of stuff. So, if this gets successful, like we saw already with the graph, in a year or two, it could be this really quality source of Irish data for learners. I don't think through that in depth again because it's not clear to me what to do right now, but I'll get there before release. At the top you can pick 5 new words to learn. That's based on the fact we can hold 5 pieces of information at a time in our head. Technically that's per lesson, but if you're going through it like 5 different exercises, like by the time you go through it the 5th time you should be able to remember, and then as you get them right, you do 5, then you do 4, 3, 2, 1. So if you're stuck on one, you just keep doing it at the end. And then the other one is you can choose to revise words. That's normally 8, I think. There's only 6 to revise here, but it's 8 you've seen already before, and you go down through and revise them. Is the back button broken? No, that's still working. It's just very shaky. Yeah, so then, as I said, you can add words. So then, as you're going through the app, you can build up your own list of words to learn and see them here and stuff, and what you know, what you don't know, so you can kind of track it that way. Yeah, that's this one. Content is here, and let me go to learn, and I'll go to the grammar ones. This needs a little in development tag because people requested the grammar stuff and like try to add it in, and this is based off of a new data set of new sentences, and so it only is definition here. So this is like you can see this is from like typed in and stuff, and it's okay. It's like the default table, but it probably needs a bit more color. These are from my notes and stuff. I'm not even sure how accurate a lot of this is. I think I have 3 or 4 here. Yeah. So these are. This is all the text that you need to learn for this, and then you can do the drill, which is generated. So we haven't handwritten these. These are like generated from the data. So found a data source, and it tagged the sentences with what mutations or what was going on and stuff. So I used that then to create lessons, to generate lessons from it. Oh, this is not right, is it? Oh no, yeah, it's okay. That's okay. I don't even know. Okay, the UI is a bit crap. That needs to be better, right? So then it will keep going through, and I'll show you a sentence, and then it will remove the word that's mutated. That's funny. I didn't even see that. And yeah, you can keep doing it to build it up. I haven't tested this too deeply. I kind of came across the data source, and I kind of built this, and I used it for a bit, and it was kind of cool. My focus in learning it now at the moment isn't really on grammar. I'm kind of trying to get my comprehension and my speaking better, right? So yeah, maybe I need to practice this a bit more. This data source labeled this, that's why it's removed, but this is a separate system. This that is labeled as how this was done is we in the database loaded all the public data, and then I took the grammar rules, which are incredibly regular in Irish, and then I just applied them where it made sense, and then it created a new list of mutations. And then anywhere that this word shows up from this mutated list, it then matches it, right? So it's like it has generated this BHEALACH, right? And then it's when it sees it here, it like it like tags it as this, and then in the word itself it tags it over here, so you can kind of see it's tagged here. Not bad. The definitions are from WordNet, so some of the definitions of WordNet are Oskelga, and very few though, very few, and the rest are like in English. There's a lot of, there's 28 here, look. So that's an artifact of WordNet kind of being a bit awkward. Maybe I can clean this up a bit, but you can upvote and downvote. But this is like, just like get stuff here for people to see. So it might be something in between all of these, right? If you ever see the dictionary, there's multiple definitions. But over time, hopefully people will add stuff. And if I create a private one, whatever, if I create a public one and submit it, someone will review it. And that might be like the best definition, right? So, this is bollocks away, right? So, translating to another place, course of conduct, line of approach, particular course of action intended. I guess even in English, you kind of use way in a lot of different ways. I didn't mean to use it in the sentence twice. Well, what's this one? Like it says it's a television station and programs. I don't have the knowledge in Irish to know, like, because I kept thinking I was spotting mistakes, and then it turns out like for one of them it was just a form of seaweed and I was wrong. So, and then down at the bottom we have the thesaurus. Again, this is generated from a database, so like I don't know if. Well, this is Balak, and it's saying it's. Oh, this might not be working. Let's see. Yeah, that's not great, is it? I have to clean that up. Find out why it's doing that. And then similar words. These similar words are quite good. I might just disable the thesaurus. The WordNet stuff seems to be very shaky, and that could be because of how I implemented it, or it could just be the nature of WordNet being very Anglo-centric. I don't know, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just this is just too generous or something. I might disable that on the release, on testing. And then down here, this is from the data too, the forms, which this table should probably be at the top. I should probably put the better sources at the top and the more like, sketchy ones at the bottom. And there's no example sentences for some reason, even though we just saw one before. And then you click in here to these different links. These don't know, like these could be here, or it might not be yet. This one isn't here. I don't know how to do that. I need to put in like some kind of way to go and check before these tags are loaded in. You can see two back buttons. Yeah, okay. This video is going to be long, I think. Okay. Oh, there we go. That's the first thread that's broken. Is that because I used the other one and now it's like not working? Okay. Maybe it's because there's just two. The way Flutter works, you have like pages, but oftentimes within a page you might have like just the page itself is changing, and that looks like to you that you're moving around, but to the app it's just the same place, and those two things are fighting each other at the moment because I implemented it poorly, but I need to go and fix that. I wanted to show you the other generated stuff because it's more complete, and I'll go to this one, and this is like the most common stuff. I wonder, is this slow because I have something implemented badly to load up, or is it slow because of we have like the cheapest Postgres subscription to save money? Maybe I could just increase that and it would work better. Or is it because it's hosted in like Manchester, which was the closest I could get to Ireland? I don't know. Same stuff up here. These drills are a bit different. Oh yeah, so this is the first page. People in testing were saying that like how am I supposed to know what these words are? So they asked for this like page up front just to see the words before ahead of time. So we're going to be tested on these words, and then you can translate with Google. Let's see if we can find a bad translation. I guess these are the most common, so like they will be half decent because it's the 100 most common from the 100 most common words. So again, I think I could do it more color here. I don't know. I've been asking people and they're saying that I'm wondering, do I just have this love of colors because the way my brain works? It's a fine. Like there's a lot of white and black though. I don't know. I do like a bit of color. Also, I want to fix all of these boxes. These are the material design, the default Flutter design. I want to kind of switch to these hand-drawn ones. When the box does this like effect, it means you can click it. That took a lot of time to figure out because I wanted to show people what's a button and what's just a box. Well, yeah, I should add it here too. You can turn these on or off. For the new one, if we haven't seen the word yet, it will show a little star above it, which is kind of cool. And then it tags the different types of word and stuff. I get like this is useful when you're trying to like reverse figure out what a word means. So like, oh, that's the verb and that's the noun, then maybe it's, you know, helps. And then the spot mutation. Will is technically an order, but you never see it in its like core form, its base form. You never see like FUIL. It's generally seen. And I think this is an artifact of the past. Like rev and will in these words, I think it's like a relic from before when it was like, I need to go look that up again because it was really interesting when I read it. There was a reason for it, which I thought was really cool. I'm looking forward to releasing the app and I'm just focusing on like creating lesson content because it is a lot of fun, and one of the best ways to learn is to try and teach. Okay, so we go to the lesson. You can reveal the solution. If you do that, this is how much. If you get the answer right now, the app will increase the chance that you know a word by 10%. Here. If I use a hint, this will drop. And if I reveal the solution, it should go to 0. So if I use the hint, it drops to 5%. And if I reveal the solution, I get 0%. So like completing this now does nothing. It doesn't remove your chance or increase it, it just does nothing. And then I think with this one, oh, I need to fix that, right? That's not working. So the first hint is like how many letters. This is kind of like a hangman style thing. And then here again you can click this and this will auto drop this down. And this, by the way, this number was 10% in the beginning, but it will increase. So if you keep getting it right, it will keep increasing how much it gains, right? So you're not just doing it 10 times. And here you can kind of click on this to see the words of the session, just to remind yourself. All of these things will drop the percentage down. These ones won't, and I should probably make that clear. And then actually, like if these, because this is generated, this is pulled from the database, the sentences, and then it removes the word and hides it with this little thing over here. Yeah, I wonder if I click on this, is it a hack? No, it doesn't work. So because of that, these sentences might be good, or like if you got just this one, how are you ever going to figure out what this word is from this one alone? It could be anything, right? And in fact, actually, yeah, with the nouns, like how are you going to figure out what this in is? Even with all the different examples, you would need to find a hint here. So follow, maybe kind of guess that one. And Lifra, that would kind of get at the language. So you kind of get it from the context. This is the idea, like this is trying to flip the idea of like immersion to figure out a word when you're reading intensively. You're supposed to you see the word 10, 20 times and you remember it in context, but you'll see the most frequent words first, and then oftentimes in a sentence, the one that carries the most information is very infrequent. So it's like, this was trying to present you with 15 to 20 examples of the word used with the word removed, So you could study this and try and like pick up from the context of what it is, and then also see how this word is used in various contexts, right? Yeah, so I'll be able to correct it. And then I might, on a mobile this is okay, but here it's kind of looks a bit janky because there's a lot of information showing up in a small card. But the idea here is just to constantly have access to all the information we have on the app and the words. Like if you have inkling of curiosity, you can go looking and find the answer. And the idea is to challenge you here, but then to have help and even the solution a click away, so that you're not just stressing over the same word, right? And you can keep doing it again and again and again. I can't even remember what words are in this session. Let's just try and guess this one. Those, these, and then if I just reveal the solutions, right, let's see if the Google Translate actually, it's not working, right? Oh no, it is. It is. And then it's down to 2%. And then session words down to 1%. 1%. This keeps going till you get to 100%. I guess the idea is the first time you go through this, it's like you take your time and you kind of figure it out. And then as you go through, that's 10%, so it's up to 25. I don't know if you saw that. See 25% up here, that's the increase from 10. Oh, that's wrong, this should be showing that it's up to 25%. Honestly, I'm going to hand this out to people before all these little minor things are fixed. I'm going to focus on like the really breaking ones, because if I waited until this, it would just take too long. What is this? Anyway, yeah, this video will be really long if I keep doing lessons. So let me go back to learn. That's the generated stuff. I don't know if people would be interested in that or not. And the router is broke. Okay, interesting. That one will need to be fixed. Yes, I don't know why I did that. I think it's states within states. Okay, so I'm not sure how interested people will be in this. This is kind of like trying to get little games, build up your vocabulary, make it more fun. I wanted to get away from just Anki decks and make it more interactive and fun. Make a game, like a detective game. Later on we do like crosswords and that type of stuff. The crosswords will depend upon the definitions, which I showed earlier on. So let's see, like the crosswords would kind of be a version of this one, I guess. But we can do all kinds of games. And then I probably will add in Anki decks, like a flashcard style thing, right, down here. But I mean, there's already a lot of stuff planned, so we'll see what the demand is. I'll show you the grammar drill, didn't I? And then yeah, so then these grammar lessons are pulled from the ones I made for Shunnock. And I literally pulled them in and like loaded them in and stuff. So this one needs a lot of work. Because I never proofread those or anything. I just created them the first time I did it, and like you can see, it still has the same interface and stuff from Shunnock. Yeah, it still works the same, and the same effects are brought across too. I don't know what to do. I need to flag this as like I need to put them like the icons in, but I need to flag this as like this is the work of Sean, and like it may or may not be right. So like I don't know. Maybe I'll put in like a little a way to report issues. But then what happened with Shunnock is I just couldn't keep up with the reports and going and fixing them. So maybe I need to put in a means for people to themselves correct this, which actually isn't as hard as you think. I can just put the JSON, the download clip here, and people can download it and fix it and send it to me by email, and then I can upload it. But I want to give people credit for the fixes they do, because I want to kind of, you know, keep that and like encourage people to do it and stuff. So I don't know, leave it with me, I'll figure this one out. Probably after the test release. Definitely after the test release. Oh, it's broken again. It's really funny. So here it looks like just like, what is it, 6 or 4 that they're all equal, but really the main point of this app and the main focus is this. This is what I really want. And maybe I hedged a little bit too much. Maybe I would put too much focus on like the generated stuff. Maybe not. I don't know. But here is like, you come in here and this will be empty to begin with, and then you can go and you can search. There's only 2 at the moment. The Ulster one is not there because I'm uploading the audio and it's a whole thing. So, and then you can search by this. I think this might annoy a lot of people, be controversial, but I guess we can change it based on what people tell us. And here, lessons, you go to lessons, and then you would see however many lessons this person created, and they can create as many as they want. And then down here you can do the lessons, and here's the learn, and then here learn you can put in like notes, discussions, or you can click on the words. Mine, there's nothing there, so it doesn't work. And then yeah, all this kind of stuff. Take your time. And these kind of sections like this, learn, and the first one and the vocabulary, they're designed to kind of like just take your time and like go through them slowly, because people kept requesting that. Whereas these ones are more about like okay. Oh, why is it that this is broken too? I know what that is actually. That's because I clicked on this one. That was an interesting bug. Because you saw the first one worked, right? Added the keyboard in too, because that was requested. And what's really interesting here is if I switch the handwriting to, it automatically like updates to use it, even the keyboard. And if I switch it to, I didn't code this in, I coded in this bit, and then automatically we get all of this, which I think is really, really cool. I mean, if you ever use Google in Ogum, what happens if my keyboard also becomes an Ogum? That's really cool. Really, really cool. The problem is, how do I get back? I can't remember. That's the radio stations. I'm going to need to put the menus into like normal script, I think, just to stop it, people getting stuck. Because I know, obviously, because I've written the code and I spent so long looking at it, but for other people, maybe not so much. And then, alright, let's switch a little, right? Little bing's back. Let me get it wrong. That's back too. Every time I've done this on this camera, I spelled Anam wrong. And then we have the father. Yeah, you get that. So the idea here is that you're supposed to be able to come in and just type as fast. Oh my god. Type as fast as you can remember it, and keep doing it and drilling it until it becomes second nature, so you can kind of acquire the language that way. I'm not much of a phone typer. I prefer laptops even to using the screen. So like, I will literally open my laptop, go to WhatsApp web rather than typing messages. So I guess for other people, you can build up the speed to text. Yeah. And then there's no audio here yet, but once it's uploaded it will show up. You'll be able to click on it. So yeah, that's it. Right, that's the main show, and then the idea is that people Oh, you can see why it's not released yet. Get that done this weekend. I was hoping to get it done last weekend, but there was too much going on. It was my wife's birthday, so I was focused on that as was right. Words saved. That's the 3 area one that I clicked add to my list, right? So then we're after being in learn, and then we can also go to vocab and have a look around here. And you can kind of filter by stuff. There's a little bug, and it shows up just here, not here, but here. Interesting. So you can go and search for whatever word you want. I've actually been using this myself as opposed to any other like apps out there or resources, even Google Translate, and I guess that's a really good sign. So like if I'm reading or something, I'll come here and I'll look up the word here instead of anywhere else, because this list also has like, so it has like this, and then it also has, you know, it has the mutation too. So like I remember as a kid learning Irish, one of the challenges, like opening the dictionary trying to find the word and just couldn't find it. It didn't. I felt so betrayed, and you're going down through like alphabetically and like, it's not there. And then you can practice here too if you want. It brings you here. But this is the one that like I kind of hope people will start using, and I don't know if they will or not. But this is the one that if people start using it would be incredible, because it's where you can come and you can edit your version. If there was 6 courses here, you would have like copy this course, so you could create your own version of it. And if I go to edit my version, or if I just go to content, is it just this root that's broken? Is it just web? People getting the app will be the guinea pigs for all of this. Content, my course is the same thing. This is the draft. So a draft is something that's like, if something's in a review, you can create a new draft. Or if something's public, you can create a draft and work on it while this is in review. I need to clean up this too, because currently you either submit all or don't submit all. I want it to be a little easier, so you can come in and just do a sentence or 2 and submit, and you know, go about your day. So this is saying that I'm 18 plus and I'm audio approved. So if I'm audio approved 18 plus, I can submit audio and images. If you're not, you can't. That's just for moderation. Anything an 18-year-old does in the app will have to go through a review process anyway, but this is not taking audio from them. It makes things cleaner. Yeah. So what I've added in here when you're creating lessons, this is like the lessons that you saw earlier on, so I can change this and save, and then I can, that needs to be fixed, the way it takes so long to load up. And it didn't even load up because it's yeah. Fix this. If I went to the draft, it would have updated. I was trying to work on this yesterday. I just didn't get enough time to kind of properly implement it, but the review system. And I want to get rid of these boxes. The app doesn't use punctuation, so you can put it whenever like you want here, and it won't be read. Like the users put it whenever they want. It's just because it looks better to see it, right? Because if we start policing commas and dots and stuff, I mean that's not really specific to Irish either, is it? But it'll just frustrate a lot of people. No, it didn't work. Okay, that's broken. Interesting. I've fixed that before. Tests. You're adding your own notes, discussion. But the big one is images, right? So, or sorry, content. So you can add in images. I don't know what's in these. I think it's just screenshots, but I'm not going to risk it. In case it's a bank statement or something. Add audio. The audio is uploaded. We don't record from the app. And we want to give instructions on how people should record it, and maybe even clean it using Audacity and stuff. I just need to learn how to use Audacity myself before I can tell people how to use it. You could add a video. Again, it can be like, but it can only be 30 seconds because otherwise you're going to like blow through your storage quota, and like the app will just, you know, people will be using it for Netflix, for like their video libraries and stuff. If it's bigger than 30 seconds, you can just upload it to YouTube, paste it in here, and you can put in a start and end, right? For private content, you can put whatever you want in here. It could even be explicit, but don't do that, it's kind of weird. But we can't see it, like it's totally your private stuff. If you create something you like, you can then submit it to be reviewed. Content reviewed in audio quality, general like lesson quality, and then like if it's copyright or not, or any explicit content. If you submit explicit content to be reviewed, you're probably going to get banned. Just gonna say that, like it's if a reviewer has to look at it and they tell me, or one of the admins, it's probably instant ban. So just be aware of that. But you know, keep it PG, because it's, if you're submitting something to be public, it's going to be seen by kids if it gets approved. So it needs to be PG, and we put banners around us and stuff. Reviewers should not be telling people how to speak Irish, or like they're wrong, or this type of stuff. They should be constructively pointing stuff out, and if they point it out and you say, yeah, I know, but I'm doing this anyway, or whatever reason, it's like, alright, and we'll approve it. And the way it works is anybody can be a reviewer. I need to fix this up too. That's not the review page. Oh, sugar. Anybody can be a reviewer. You can apply. There is an expectation you can speak Irish at some level, or at least that you're reviewing content that you understand. This is the current menu for people to come in and they can like see stuff. And the way it works is there's no like rejection. It's approve or discuss. There's nothing else. And then the discussions are between you and the creator. No one else sees it. Just the reviewers and the creator. And you can have a little discussion there, and then when they're like, oh yeah, it looks good, approved, it gets made public, publish it, and the whole discussion history just gets deleted. There's no reason to keep it. And then you can publish, unpublish your content, whatever you want. If you change it, you need to do it in a draft and resubmit it to be reviewed again. We're just trying to stop anybody putting up stuff they should put up for a review, and the reviewers will have to like basically check stuff for copyright or any of this stuff. I kind of hoping people do it right, so we'll probably need to like have a call with anybody who wants to be a reviewer just to like make sure everything's okay and stuff. But yes, we want like community content, but I don't want people messing either. And then there's also discussions you can have. So if you're doing a lesson, probably takes too long to go places, right? Here, you can like have a discussion, blah blah blah, and stuff like this, right? This is where the app is now, and like I guess to state that everything's working. But depending on how it's used and how popular stuff is and complaints and stuff, and then as the data increases, as people create more content and there's more and more stuff to use, we'll probably create more features around that, right? So we'll kind of keep evolving around it. Like the core database needs to stay clean with all of the users, like the information, like who created it and all of that. And once that's clean and kept safe, then we can build whatever we want on top of it, right? So that's the idea. One of the focus here of this app is not to lose any work people do. That's like one of the most important things. And even if you get banned from the app or blocked, you can still use the app. You just can't contribute or like chat or do anything else. But you can still learn on the app. Shin A, is that it? Yeah, I mean I could probably talk a bit more. Shin A, what else do I do now? I'm debating if I should talk about React or not. CD into CL. Let's see. second. I just want to make see. Go. Nope. CLJD. Weird. Okay, and then CD Clee, there's a Clee test probably. Let's see. CLJD dot CLJ dash M CLJD other dash D from. In Dara's recent post, he said that the app was built entirely in React. It's not. Originally, React was made to do that, but it was taking too long, and it was too much of a risk, and my art wasn't strong enough, and the closure Dart was just so good, and I was still learning closure Dart, so to make a language off it was a bit reckless. And then I started talking to the community of closure Dart, like 800 people on the Slack channel, and then even the creators I was talking to. So it just seemed foolish to do that. So instead, I just stuck to the English closure Dart. I was thinking of doing like an Irish version, but that would just be like the words swapped out, and it would just literally be probably Google Translate. So it didn't seem worth doing it. Maybe later on. Closure Dart does exist, and this is it here. It's got the Flame game engine, which is used by which is Flutter game engine, like so for mobile. And I just kind of tied it in, and I built this little roguelike. This is an asset pack from, it's like a dungeon. It's free, like it's a free one that you can use. So I just loaded that in, and then this little game engine. But you can see, like it's not like there's no collisions, there's no loss of health. It's just a basic thing to show. Or is this the new one actually? Is it the one? Yeah, you can't, this order doesn't even work. What was it? Was it space? Space or B? It's been about a week or two now since I've done this. I'll go find it in the code, that's what I'll do. Let's open a new one of these. And let's go to see. The closure is, the Flutter is in lib. Closure is in here, which is in Irish, and then React is actually in. Here. And there's some English in here too, so it's a brown arm. Because I was converting across from an English code base. So let's see. Yeah, and actually technically, yeah, I render from Clojure Deck, but I can run it from here, and then it'll update in real time. So I'll try it last if it works. Let me just do that real quick. No. I can't remember. I think it was like a command to run here, or maybe it's just actually. Yeah, okay. Plehitus. Should start the app here. I'm going to stop the other one. Yeah, Stod. I don't know if this will work or not because the REPL, the update loop has been a bit dodgy recently for some reason. I haven't had time to fix it. I'll give it a second. And then while we're doing that, see if I can remember the yeah, it's not going to work for some reason. This has not been read. This is 3 and 6. But up here you have like 8 or something, so it's not working. Yeah, this whole thing needs a lot of work. No. Yeah, so this is the kind of like it's kind of converted across from the React, and then like this is the Clojure Dart is like a Lisp, lots of parentheses, and this is more of a Python Haskell indentation style. Clojure Dart's very simple, like it's very very simple. There's not much. It's a data oriented language, and it mirrors the abstract syntax tree. So like this is a really easy conversion. Though you can see all of the English that's not true. That's more of a mark of my poor Irish than of the technology. Yeah, but this is kind of more for fun. I kind of do this my downtime and stuff. So, so yeah, that's it. Like that's kind of the current state. Like you can see, this is just raw Clojure Dart that's been pasted in from the English version I have. Hasn't been converted across. So you can use both. You can use React, which is, and then this is just something similar, very hacky. So you can use like the Clojure Dart style like this, or you can use the Clojure Dart style, the Lisp style like this, or you can use a hybrid. From a language design point of view, the flexibility is nice, but it might cause chaos in the code bases. You're kind of expecting that the writer and reader know Flutter, Clojure Dart, and React. But yeah, it's there. The reason it hasn't been further along is I haven't really been focusing on it. No, it's just here. So if I do history, it's grep. There is a command I can use for this. I can't remember how to like count the lines of code. See if this one works. It might not. Yeah, there's like 892 lines of code for that game you saw, basic game. And a lot of that's just set up. And I have to go into test. This is what it compiles down into. No, let's proceed. And that one will be $700. There's actually more lines in the React than there is in the Clojure Dart. That's interesting. And then just for fun, let's go into lib. Yeah, it creates 42,000 lines of Dart code. Okay, no say. I think it's probably. I have no idea. I actually have no idea. Wow. I haven't done this in a while, so I'm kind of curious as to what is in here. Lines of code is not a metric to gauge the quality of something, but less lines for the same thing is generally good because it's easier to read. Yeah, 40,000 lines of code. For reference, the Shunnuk app, which is significantly less significantly less than Madra Teanga. It's like 70,000 boilerplate, and the reason that is when you're working on Flutter, you're like using the tools and it's like generating the stuff on the fly. A lot of the code here for Clojure 2 is bloat as such. It's like, I've copied across whole pages, I've kind of gone down dead ends, a lot of copy pasting too, because it's reusing the same patterns again and again. So like the lines of code kind of like skyrockets a bit sometimes because I haven't been refactoring or refining. I've been just kind of keep moving forward. So there's even just like features that you haven't seen that are in the code base, and there's also like failed experiments and stuff, right? So I think this probably is closer down to like 20 maybe or less, and then again a lot of that's just boilerplate stuff. Well, I want to see what's in the lib. No, that's crazy. What is that? That's really funny. I wonder if that's a concern, because you're not supposed to use the code here. Like, this is all like machine generated stuff. Like, it's not like some of it. This stuff here I wrote because I didn't know how to do it in Clojure there. Couldn't be moved. This is all like generated stuff. Oh yeah, like this is like is the translation stuff and whatnot. But like, this is not meant to be with my hand. This is machine generated. I actually want to go do an analysis because in this setup, I don't have to use packages like freeze. Or I don't use any dependencies actually. I think if I go to cat pubspec, it says the boilerplate in the default asset. Yeah, this is all the dependencies. So, and not all of these are used. So a lot of them are design stuff, but there's no like state management system or router or freeze or all the other stuff that I used in. There's stuff like audio, which makes sense, and Google text recognition for the phone app and stuff, but there's no like, on the Go router is there, but it's no longer used, so I can remove that. I think I can remove a lot of these actually, and the cache isn't used either. So I'll stop talking now and go back to work, definitely procrastinating, and I'll fix those issues and hopefully people can start testing the app in the next 2 weeks, I suppose. So Focus, agus slán